Welcome back. And I want to say a special word of welcome as well as thanks to our next guest. Her name is Kimberly Hermann. She is the general counsel for a really important organization, the Southeastern Legal Foundation. And we're going to be talking about some work in a couple of areas that have not gotten, it seems to me, well, not so much attention, but the kind of corrective action that she and her team at the Southeastern Legal Foundation are trying to engineer. And we're going to talk about both the phenomenon of critical race theory, what is involved and what it implies, and what can be done about it, and also about threats to what's well called Title IX, about the rights and roles of women at the moment in our country, which is under assault from an unlikely source, the transgender community specifically. Kimberly, it's so good to have you with us. Welcome to Securing America.
Thanks for having me.
And again, thank you for what you're doing. Let's talk a little bit about it. I think an awful lot of Americans have, in the space of the past year or so, with the COVID pandemic lockdown in particular, been introduced to this phenomenon of so called critical race theory. Um, Many of us still probably are not entirely clear what it is about, let alone why it is being now force fed to, well, our children in the public educational systems and other schools for that matter, to the military, to other government employees and corporations across this country. So, explain to us what's going on here. What is it, CRT? How does it fit into sort of a larger agenda? And what do you think the stakes are if we don't understand it properly and deal with it?
Yeah, it's imperative that all parents and Americans understand it and really what the goal of it is. And so when we talk about critical race theory, this is a theory that did originate in the academy. The idea is that you're pitting people against each other because of the color of their skin. And the goal is to teach everyone, whether it's kids, adults, those in the workplace, to teach them to hate America. And so you are saying the only thing that matters about you is the color of your skin. It then places you in a category of a racial hierarchy and saying that blacks are oppressed, whites are oppressors, and it pits them against each other to the point where people aren't talking, there's no civil discourse going on, and you only see each other as adversaries instead of as human beings and as fellow Americans.
I'm told that the genesis of this in academia, as you say, was really Marxist, sort of cultural revolutionaries, and that it basically is a page out of the playbook of Mao Zedong, the notorious Chinese Communist Party founder. They don't use class warfare as the Marxists did in his day, but race is used as a sort of surrogate for the purposes of explicitly dividing us and subverting our country. Would you agree with that characterization? And if it's so, it adds immediately, I think, and urgently to the necessity of countering it, doesn't it?
Yes, I mean, we're in a constitutional war. People refer to critical race theory a lot of times as a culture war, but at the end of the day, I say it's a constitutional war because it does originate in Marxist ideas. You take this idea where, in China, in the Soviet Union, in Cuba, you could use class and divide people from the rich and the poor. Well, in America, that wasn't going to work because we have the American dream here. And so they had to use something that would stick. And when they couldn't take hold, they, meaning those who wanted to push this and divide America and undermine our republic, couldn't take over the civil rights movement because we had Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who fortunately carried the day there, saying to look at the content of our character, not our skin. They had to find another way. And they invaded the academia and pushed this. And now they're pushing it onto our young children.
Well, and sadly, as I say, it's not just our children. It's that would be bad enough because you will see them growing up with these, well, traumatic experiences, I think. But we talk a lot here at Securing America, of course, about securing America, and the fact that this is being done to our military. as well, and dividing, elements of our forces against one another, and inevitably affecting unit cohesion and camaraderie, morale, as well as readiness, is a serious, serious problem. So, talk very quickly, if you would, Kimberly Herman, about what you at Southeastern Legal Foundation are doing to try to counter this, well, cancer in our system.
Yeah, well, when schools or the military, any government entity implements critical race theory, what they end up doing is they end up violating our constitutional rights. When you treat people differently because of the color of their skin, you're violating the Equal Protection Clause and the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So we've taken this to the courtroom, and we filed lawsuits in the Chicago area. We filed one in Missouri. We have several more coming because we won't stop until we stop what is ultimately discrimination. When you implement critical race theory, you are discriminating on the basis of race, and you violate the Constitution.
That seems so obvious. I would think that any court would find very quickly in favor of this. What do the proponents of CRT say in response to these kinds of challenges that you're offering in court?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing they say is, well, we're not doing it. And then the second thing that they say is, we need this. They claim that America is a fundamentally racist country. That is the tagline, that is critical race theory.
Systemically. Mm-hmm.
Correct. That is, we're systemically racist. And so everything they do, they believe is justified. They believe that to fight racism, you need more racism. And if there is anything just more counterproductive to society, to being good humans, and to looking at people, the inside of people, and kindness, it is this ideal, and we need to stop it. It is a cancer on America, and they want to destroy the American Republic. That is what they want to do, and we are going to stop them.
It is a metastasizing cancer at that. So your efforts to apply, some anti-carcinogenic efforts are so appreciated, Kimberly Herman. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more with Kimberly, and we're going to talk about another battlefront in the lawfare space, namely what is being done to women in this country in the name of trying to give preferential treatment to transgender individuals and the like. That and more with Kimberly Herman of the Southeastern Legal Foundation right after this.